Well, Anvil Asgard. Finally a ship what checks multiple boxes. This ship is the best what a solo player can wish for the current gameplay. This is my new daily driver. So much to unpack, but I had to get this info out. Let's start with the current gameplay. I like to believe Star Citizen, like many other games, are mostly for solo players. Yes, you may have some party recorded content to grind, but most of the missions you want to do alone. Even the endgame looks like to be player-owned star bases, the game is still so far away from it. Main reason for solo gaming is how much time you need to allocate for this. This is not something like hop into the game for 15 minutes. Instead, player needs to dedicate more like 60 minutes to do one mission. When calculating pre-flight preparations, flying into mission zone to do the recorded task and then fly back and store your cargo and ship. So all that between your real life, between your work, school, social life, sleep, relationships, football practice and so on. And finally ask yourself, could you squeeze in your friend's timetable to same slot? Yeah, right. Impossible. Since 4.0, events in Star Citizen have become more interesting and versatile. Event missions offer complexity on multiple ways. For those who are just starting the game, an event can be done, but rewards are trivial. But these event missions scale, and mostly require to do everything in bigger scale, haul more cargo or fight bigger ships. These are planned for smaller or bigger parties. Example, the safe stand-on event was to bring the materials to Pyro Gateway. By taking bigger missions, the reward was bigger too. But the amount to haul cargo is out for those who only have starter ship. Hauling cargo sizes from 300 to 900 SEU, that sounds a lot, but very doable for solo player. Two key points are how many times player needs to fly back and forth, and how much time it takes. Well, when ship is big enough, those flybacks are in single digit. So how my new daily driver, Anvil Asgard, fits into this picture? It fits well to the gameplay loop, but why select this instead of any other ship? Well, let's compare some ships. Because of its role, it is a little bit an oddball. Because similarities should be compared by size, ship value, cargo, combat and solo capabilities. How it compares against C1 Spirit, Constellation Taurus, Valkyrie, Starlancer Max and C2 Hercules. Even these ships are totally different, but from my own personal experience, I had to use these others, but no more. Comparing to C1 Spirit, C1 is smaller ship normally and not in the same class, but it is for solo players pretty good and versatile all around ship. Personally, I had to retire my C1 and let the Asgard shine. Let's look some stats and these are pointed from the Hercules. From value point, Asgard is 3 times more expensive, 365 versus 110 euros. These prices are included the tax. Cargo hold size Asgard has 180, when C1 Spirit has only 64 SEU cargo. C1 only has one entrance and blocking the cargo area blocks the access to the cockpit. Asgard has 3 access points, the ramp and side doors. This gives an Asgard possibility to load cargo on off-grid and even block the ramp gate to fit more cargo what grid holds. Based on test, with off-grid you can load up to 300 SEU of cargo. For vehicle transport, C1 Spirit can only hold smaller than Ursa-sized vehicles, when Asgard can currently hold any ground vehicle in the game and also Drake column and Pisces-sized ships. C1 comes with the tractor beam, but the design of Asgard's cargo hold, loading it with the other methods is not that time consuming. Currently VTOL has no meaning, but with the feature control services, Asgard may benefit more about flying in Atmo. Speed and turning rates are pretty much even, but Asgard has more health. What comes to components, the major focus points are the shields and the weaponry. Both have size 2 shields, but Asgard has 4 of them when C1 only has 1. Weapon-wise, Asgard has 6 size 3 pilot-controlled weapons and for the gunner, 2 size 4 weapons. when C1 only has 4 size 3 weapons. Asgard missile rack is locked and can hold only 16 size 3 missiles, when C1 has more versatility of rack size, but it will hold less. This is the entry and exit test for Asgard and C1 Spirit. In the end, a lot of time is spent in the verse doing this, and the test result shows that they are pretty even. When comparing Asgard against its sister ship Valkyrie, on paper they are very similar, but biggest change is the cargo size reduction because of the drop seats. For now drop seats are useless, they should reduce G-forces for players, but that game mechanic is not in the game. You can just crouch or prone in the cargo hold to avoid getting knocked back. Also Asgard is cheaper than Valkyrie, therefore Asgard is clear winner. Main reason C2 Hercules is in this comparison is the price. It's almost the same, only for 400 euros. C2 has almost 700 SU of cargo hold and it is built also to transport vehicles. But because of this design, loading containers to the ship is slow. It was never designed to be a cargo hauler, only for vehicles. Otherwise it's on bigger size class than Asgard, and therefore the components and weapons are bigger size. Even with this, it is not for combat, so in case of one, flight instead fight. Comparing Asgard to Starlancer Max, let's keep this short too. I bought this with game money. It is bigger ship, but it is also clumsier. Its cargo grid is 225, but it is split to 2 different sections, and 2 sections are horribly designed when loading or unloading cargo. The mid section forces players to circle other side of the ship to continue working with cargo. So, final verdict is that Asgard wins this round by far. Constellation series Taurus. Yeah, I left this one to the last because the common sense was thrown out the window. I'm talking about stats. Constellations are older ships and they are missing their rework, but let's talk about it. Taurus is in the same ship size class with Asgard. It is not meant to be a vehicle transport ship, instead just cargo. Based on air-cool, Asgard's role is dropship made for combat, when Taurus is medium freight transporter. Even civilians in this game need protection. Taurus weapons for pilot are 4 size 5 weapons. But that is not even what I want to talk about. My common sense says that Asgard is for military. Its job is to go to hot zones where bullets and rockets are flying and the ship is the hot target. And Asgard's job is to bring more troops or extract your team out of the combat. When Taurus is civilian cargo transport, but Taurus' health is doubled compared to Asgard. If I would compare these ships to real-life vehicles, I would say Asgard is military transport ship, like this Patria AMV, and Taurus is like a van or small truck which role is to transport furniture or help you move. When somebody asks which one of you would like to take to combat, I would say this AMV. It feels more safe. I am not asking that Asgard's health should be same as current Taurus, but maybe bring that Taurus health way down under the Asgard. Because bringing your troops to hot zone with same vehicle what you use for moving your IKEA furniture is just wrong. Combat wise, you can take down NPC Constellation with Asgard, but if you are fighting against a good player, I would say you lose every time. In the end, Asgard is not like other cargo ships. It is a combat ship. Its design and size is made for solo player for fast loading and unloading, and also it packs firepower to do a lot of missions alone. As end notes, to keep this short, I didn't include all the specs and paints and internal and external tools. These are already made anyway, but I hope this helps you to think this ship more like in practical point of view, and not just what it's supposed to be on paper. Star Citizen is still in active development, and gameplay, ship roles and their stats will be changed, but for now this is the jack of all trades. Should I recommend you to buy this? No, there is no return of investment in this way, but if you feel like you want to support CIG development, maybe this is pretty good choice. You get a nice ship with a multi-role purpose and it fits most of the gameplay. It offers you a nice way to explore the verse. Personally I like it, and it is my new daily driver. It has everything. It can hold a lot of stuff and designing is excellent. It can fit any ground vehicle and some flyable ships too. For solo player, this is your flying home. Live in that ship like nomad, pirate or soldier. Your choice.